let's set the scene. June 16th, 2026, MetLife Stadium. Over 80,000 fans packed in, the Manhattan skyline shining in the background, and the stage is set for an absolute blockbuster of a match. And guys, it delivered. We are talking about a night of pure footballing magic that is going to be talked about for decades. This game literally had it all. A shockingly dire first half, absolutely brilliant tactical adjustments from the bench, massive VAR controversy, and a 27-year-old superstar who simply decided he was going to rewrite the record books. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how Kylian Mbappe cemented his legacy as France's greatest ever goal scorer, and how a crucial halftime shift saved the French squad from a historic upset. Let's get right into it.
Now, to really grasp the emotional stakes here, you have to look at what Mbappe said right before the match. I play to write my name in the history of France. When he said that, it wasn't just a standard PR soundbite, right? He was making a promise. Coming into this tournament at 27 years old, the expectations on his shoulders were just astronomical. This was supposed to be the moment he stepped out from the shadows of past legends to become the undisputed king of French football. But as you'll see, his path to greatness in this particular match was anything but straightforward. In fact, for the first 45 minutes, it was basically a nightmare. Okay, let's dive into this. Context and historic stakes, the ghost of 2002.
You really can't appreciate the drama of this game without knowing what was hanging over it before the whistle even blew. For France, this whole tournament is super emotional. It's the last dance for their legendary coach, Didier Deschamps. After 14 years in charge, he's stepping down after this World Cup, so the pressure to send him off with a trophy is massive. And on paper, they were huge favorites. Two-time winners, 2022 runners-up, boasting arguably the world's most talented front four, Mbappe, Dembele, Elise, and Doué. But standing in their way were the Lions of Teranga. Senegal came in as the 2022 AFCON champions, an incredibly physical, disciplined squad. Plus, hovering over the entire stadium was the ghost of 2002. If you remember, Senegal absolutely shocked the world in the opening match of the 2002 World Cup by beating the defending champions France 1-0. That upset was a massive warning sign for Deschamps and his squad.
Which brings us to the match itself. A dire first half, Senegal dominates.
When things kicked off, it really looked like history was about to repeat itself. The first half was a total shock to the system. France's star-studded attack, completely out of sync. No rhythm, no combination play, totally isolated from the midfield. Instead, it was Senegal dictating the pace and creating all the danger. I really want you to let this number sink in. 0.06. That was France's expected goals, their XG, for the entire first half. Think about that. For a team with that much attacking firepower, producing an XG of practically 0 is unheard of. It perfectly captures just how toothless they were. They weren't just failing to score, they were barely even getting close to the Senegalese goalkeeper.
And while France was struggling to even string two passes together in the final third, Senegal was knocking on the door. The tension hit a peak when Senegal's Ismaïla Sarr found himself completely unmarked just 6 yards out from the French goal. It was a golden opportunity to go up 1-0, but incredibly, he skies the shot right over the bar. You could hear the commentators instantly warning that this was exactly the kind of massive missed chance a team ends up regretting against world-class opposition.
Now, what's really interesting is how all that frustration boiled over into massive controversy right before the 60-minute mark. Mbappe goes down in the box under a really heavy tackle from Seneca's veteran captain, Sadio Mané. The ref stops play, the whole stadium holds its breath for the VAR check, and the decision? No penalty. The officials decided Mbappe initiated the contact. The French fans in MetLife were absolutely furious. So going into the halftime break at 0-0, Senegal arguably deserved the lead, and France was looking genuinely desperate. So Deschamps had to do something. The tactical halftime shift, Deschamps' genius. Look, championships aren't just won by the guys on the pitch. They're won by managers making the right calls under insane pressure. Let's map out exactly what Deschamps did here. He saw the wings were completely clogged up, so he makes a masterstroke of a positional switch. Step 1, he pulls Michael Olise off that right wing and drops him into a central number 10 position. Step 2, he shifts Ousmane Dembele out wide to stretch that Senegalese defense. This one switch changed everything. By putting Olise in the middle, France suddenly had this masterful playmaker dictating the tempo. Olise just started spraying these pinpoint defense-splitting assists right through the center, totally unlocking Senegal's rigid block and creating the exact pockets of space that Mbappe needs to do his thing.
And man, did it work. Mbappe rewrites history, an explosive second half.
The second that half started, you could feel the shift.
The pace, the intensity, that classic French swagger, it was all back. Deschamps laid the tactical foundation, and his superstar delivered. Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds, because it is absolute chaos. In the 66th minute, the tactical switch pays off directly. Oli slides a perfect pass through the center, and Mbappe finishes clinically to equal the all-time scoring record for France. Fast forward to the 82nd minute, substitute Bradley Barcola races through and scores with this delicate, world-class dink over the keeper. 2-0. But wait, Senegal refuses to quit. 95th minute, their 19-year-old sub Ibrahim Mbaye scores a brilliant goal on his debut. 2-1. The tension is instantly back. But then, literally 60 seconds later, in the 96th minute, Mbappe puts it to bed. And wow, what a strike it was. This wasn't just a tap-in. He receives the ball over 30 yards out. Everyone in the stadium expects him to hold it up, take it to the corner flag, and kill the clock. Instead, he unleashes this absolute ferocious thunderbolt of a drive straight into the bottom right corner. That unbelievable 96th minute strike pushed his total to 58 international goals, officially leapfrogging Olivier Giroud. He stands alone at the top of the mountain. Kylian Mbappe is now the undisputed all-time top scorer for the French national team. The stadium absolutely lost its mind.
Let's just pause and wrap our heads around the sheer magnitude of these numbers. We are talking about a 27-year-old who now has 14 goals in just 15 World Cup matches. He's France's all-time top scorer with 58 goals, and the crazy part, he is now only 2 goals behind Miroslav Klose's all-time World Cup record of 16. His dominance on this stage is literally staggering. This match was the perfect masterclass in proving that even if you keep him quiet for a half, his ability to bounce back and rewrite history is basically inevitable.
All right, let's zoom out a bit. Match analysis and takeaways. Looking ahead.
So the dust has finally settled on an epic night in New Jersey. Taking an analytical look at things, here is how Group I shapes up after the opening round. France is sitting pretty with 3 points right alongside Norway, who also picked up a win in their opening game. That is going to set up a massive clash at the top of the table. For Senegal and Iraq, stuck at 0 points, the margin for error is totally gone. Senegal has to regroup fast if they want to survive this incredibly tough group. To summarize what we've actually learned from this explainer today, first, Deschamps proved exactly why he's been the boss for 14 years. Moving Olise centrally completely saved the game. Second, Mbappe is just an unstoppable force of nature, plain and simple. On the flip side, Senegal played a super brave game, but they are going to seriously rue that missed chance by Sarr in the first half. But hey, it's not all bad news for them. The brightest spot was easily their own number 9, 19-year-old Ibrahim Mbaye, a kid the media is already calling the next Mbappe, scoring a phenomenal solo goal on his World Cup debut. Definitely keep your eyes on him. He is for sure a future star.
What an insane way to kick off the tournament for these two squads. Now, I want to leave you with this. We saw 2 entirely different sides of Kylian Mbappe's genius out there today. So, which was the goal of the match for you? Was it that clinical, composed finish in the 66th minute that equaled the record? Or was it that explosive 30-yard thunderbolt in the 96th minute that shattered it? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.